feel like Guy Ford should do this intro, but we didn't really talk about it. So, I mean, Guy, you want to hit him with a little finally?
Finally, the defects have returned. All three.
What is up, Defects? It's been a while. I feel like we haven't been here forever. What has it been? About 2 weeks. Jay's been off. Jay was off that week before, so Jay hasn't been here in 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back. I see a lot of familiar names in the chat already, rolling in. We'll see who makes it tonight. See if people forgot about us already. You know, it's what have you done for me lately? You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's been a while. I don't know if we've ever been off for this long, you know, without a video, without a live show. Anyway, before we get started, let's say what up to my boys real quick. Start on the bottom. Guy Forge, pimping some new paint in the background. What up, brother?
What's up? What's up? It's good to be back. It's very exciting. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing for a couple weeks there. You know, I missed you guys. So, Jay, it's good to see your face. You got a little, I don't know,
A little Tony Starkage.
Little Three Musketeer action going there.
Beef the vendetta.
We didn't get the memo. You got Three Musketeers. You should have told us. I would have shaved something.
This is all I could have, man. My shit don't connect.
Well, it's good. It's good to see you, and it's good to see everybody in the chat. We're excited. Let's get ready for a good time. It's good to be back.
Butch.
Defects, what is up? My man Guy, my man Matt. Good to be back. 3 weeks off. We beat the Canes. We're up 2-1 on the Lightning. I don't know, guys. There's a game 7 we might be missing next week too.
Don't tell them that. Then they'll really forget about us.
A lot to talk about, right? A lot to talk about. We got some shows. What else? Some news. I'm excited, man.
It's this gonna go ahead.
I've been off social media, so you guys gotta fill me in on what people are liking and what they're not liking. I want to know about Obi-Wan. I'm excited, man.
So you haven't seen what Cooge has been eating? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I haven't seen what Cooge has been eating, thank God. I haven't seen what that guy's been eating anyway.
Oh God, yeah. Tonight it's just like a little bit of a catch-up show. It feels like there wasn't a ton of like movie and stuff news, so we want to just want to go around. We missed some stuff. Like we're going to talk about the CGC label thing real quick. I know that's kind of old news, but we didn't get to talk about it. Maybe talk about the comic book market, what I've been seeing a little bit. Talk about Obi-Wan and the boys premiere, of course, and how those are stacking up against some of the projects the MCU has been putting out. Maybe we'll talk about Top Gun. I just seen somebody write. And then if you got something that you want us to discuss, just throw it in the chat. Guy's going to be kind of monitoring, put it in all caps. Maybe it's a topic we'll jump on real quick, or maybe it's something we'll spend a little extra time on. So we want to give a little bit of love to the comic book side of things. We haven't done that. I know Jay called for that a few weeks back, so we're going to try to do that tonight too. And new comic book day, of course, with our boys from CBSI. So you want to hit up the sponsors real quick before we get going?
I don't even know if I remember how to do this.
I feel like it is just going to be like riding a bike. Once you just start talking, you know what I mean?
Throw it up. Who's first up? My man Erod212 with Express Comic Book Pressing for all your pressing and cleaning needs. As we say, your presser will blaze your books. Defects 10 gets you 10% off. Not only that, Erod's nice enough to pass along his discount from CBCS and CGC. So hit him up and don't forget to tell him the Defects sent you. Next up, everybody's favorite beaver, Mutant Beaver Comics, one of the world's largest online retailers for exclusive comic books. Defects 10 gets you 10% off. These guys ship worldwide. That's right, worldwide. So tell Pat and the B-Man the Defects sent you.
I mean,
keep that cup. Keep that cup in America, though. Keep that cup in the U.S., Mutant Beaver.
Like you were never even away, Jay. You just crushed it. It was flawless. I mean, as flawless as it's going to get with you. You know what I mean?
Flawless victory, baby. Get over here.
What up, Big E's?
What up, Biggies? Make sure you guys are following and subbing Home of the NY Warriors, of course. They're going to be at BronxCon this weekend. So let's just talk about that real quick since we got the New York Warriors in the house right now.
Oh, by the
What
way,
do we got here?
B-Man over here, he's chilling. He said we have the Beavers.
There you go.
Beaverists,
See?
Beavers? Yeah, there you
I
go.
like that.
Jay, tell them a little bit about this Saturday.
Guys, if you are in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, you are going to want to come to the BX Bronx Comic Book Show. They're going to have a ton of artists. They're going to have a ton of vendors. They're going to have a ton of people from the community hanging out. Our boys, the New York Warriors, will be hosting. So you'll see Joker there. You'll see Biggs, E-Rod set up there. Manny will be there. So it's going to be a good time, guys. Make sure you get there early. That's all I could say. Because once the tops come off the boxes, it's a rumble, especially in the Bronx. Tuck your money in your sock.
I thought the tops were coming off of something else. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Well, I see them over there. I don't know.
I heard, listen, there's a rumor going around. I don't know if it's true or not. Something about a contest that we're judging. I don't know if it's true.
We'll see, man. There may be a cosplay contest that we're judging.
That's my DJ.
So make sure you guys are following DJ Links on YouTube also. Give him a sub. All right. This is going to be fun for me tonight, personally, I must say, because we didn't really have like a major plan, but I have some general notes. And what I'm going to do is these guys have no idea what we're talking about tonight. So I'm just going to be throwing things at them and seeing how good they are on the fly. All right, I'm going to keep it in your wheelhouses. Don't worry. I'm going to be kind.
There goes that.
You know what I mean? But it's going to be this will be an interesting show. But Guy, if there's anything good that comes up in the chat,
throw it up.
Let's take it
throw us ideas, guys. Throw us ideas.
We'll take it around the horn. So
let's
go with the low hanging fruit first, right? This is talked about a few weeks back. I think it was just after our last show. We didn't get a chance to discuss it. So let's talk about it now. Let me share my screen real quick. CGC. So let me make it a little bigger. She said. So 525, you can see that almost 2 weeks ago. So Jay didn't hear that about this. He was off social media. I know Guy heard about it a little bit. And a lot of people were up in arms about this, but honestly, the more I've thought about it, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But I'm gonna let the chat decide. I'm gonna let my co-hosts here decide. So basically, here's what they're saying: parameters modified for defects listed on CGC labels. That's pretty funny, right? Defects. So I don't know about this. Based on feedback from prominent members of the collecting community, like I want to know who this is right here.
Yeah,
like that
was a line that jumped out at me too, and I'm like, I don't understand that.
I feel like they could have done without this line. Probably would have been better received. But anyway, traditionally, certain defects were listed on the CGC label if they were present on a certified comic book, which were also recorded into the comic book grader's notes. Because CGC members now have free access to grader's notes, this redundancy is being eliminated from the label for the presence of the following defects: stickers, Siamese pages, punch holes, staples added after manufacturing, staples removed, detachments, fully spine split, tape, significant missing parts from the cover, lamination, miscuts, puzzles, or coupons filled out. Okay, so basically they go on to say they'll continue to identify on the label any significant missing pieces, pages, wraps, or inserts from the interior of the comic. Each comic book's grader's notes will reflect all missing parts, and those missing parts will be recorded in the grader's notes. I feel like it was redundant there when they wrote that. CGC is discontinuing the use of the term incomplete on its label, as well as the terms affect story and does not affect story when parts are missing from the interior of a comic. You're still getting the purple label, the green label, and all that good stuff. They're still telling you everything that has to do with anything that is conserved or qualified or restored. So it's not like they're getting rid of everything. So to me, I'm kind of like, this kind of feels a little lazy, like you're raising your prices, but you're taking services away. But at the same time, these things are on books. These are pretty much significant on like Silver Age, maybe Bronze Age books. You know, a lot of people were saying, well, if I'm making a big purchase, I mean, if you're making a big purchase, you probably want to be checking the graders notes anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see this as being a big issue. I know a lot of people, I mean, there was a ton of videos about this. Boys, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Go ahead, guys.
I have one thought. Kid Collector coming in with the 199 super chat saying, got a roof done and the defects are back. Great day. Usually the defects are blowing the roof off of things. So, you know what?
Yeah,
At
that's
least
why I needed a new roof.
you need a new roof. There you go. We're back. How you doing?
Yeah.
I don't know. Are we making a big deal? Are we out of nothing? I don't. These guys try and fix things, and I feel like they mess up things even more. I mean, I don't know if they're concentrating on the right stuff. Maybe they think they are, but I think they're just concentrating on the wrong things here. They should you know, that's my opinion. But
what do you think, Jay? Is this gonna change anything for you? Do you think this is good, bad, or just you don't give a shit?
I mean, listen, why change it to begin with? Why not just leave what works, right? If I want to know what's going on, man. Listen, we all shop, whether it be on Whatnot now or eBay or auction houses. Sometimes the pictures aren't the greatest. If there's tape on my cover, I want to know, man. I want to see it on the label. You know what I mean? If there's a major defect on there, I'm always used to looking at that label and seeing what's up. So why take it off? Why not put it on the back of the label? You know what I mean? Like, why change it? It's aggravating to me a little bit because, like you said, those Silver Age books may have, or maybe even a Bronze Age book, may have a major flaw that someone, you know, who wants a nice presenting cover at a low grade, which that's like me, man. If you could get a nice presenting book in a low grade, but it has a major defect, I want to know that. So are they going to show these defects on the grader's notes when you buy them? Or are they totally doing away with everything?
no, they said
they're going to put them in the graders notes.
The graders notes that you have to pay for, though.
So you'll have to pay for the grader's notes, which I suggest everyone does anyway, because you want to know what type of defects could be, you know, fixed or maybe get that bump of a grade. But why not just leave it on there, man? You know, so
I don't know. Biggie has a good point. He said personally, I think it's just a marketing stunt to get more people to get memberships. That's a $5 super chat from Biggie. Thank you, Biggie.
Right, because now, Jay, I don't know if you saw this one, but they're not allowing you to pay for graders notes anymore. Essentially, members get them for free, and if you're not a member, you're shit out of luck.
So gotcha. Okay, so they
want people signing up. I'm pretty sure.
So
yeah, well, that's your membership. That's what it is. And Thomas Cab says they should put info on the back of the label. I mean,
that's
the
their
back of label stuff. You know, go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, that's their coy plan to get people to get more memberships, as opposed to someone that's just going to pay $2 for a grader's note, or however much it is now, $5, $7 to get the grader's notes, and then, you know, not be a member. So now they're kind of forcing your hand to be a member if you're a, you know, avid CGC comic book collector. So I don't like it personally. I think it, you know, fucks with people that have been CGC fans from the beginning.
Joey said this like 6 times, so I got to put it up there.
Yeah.
So free graders notes that you have to pay for.
Pretty much, yeah.
My mic is fucked up.
No, I think you just keep getting loud when you start getting louder.
I think you have the auto in your settings. I think you have like the auto. What's it called? What is it? Under advanced auto gain control. Yeah. Go to audio and turn that off. Audio advanced auto gain control.
Gotcha.
I mean, the B-Man, I'm not against it.
Listen, here's what I think. Would I love graders notes on the back of CGC comics? It would be great. But then they're just going to charge you more to grade your comics, right? Like, we're not getting anything for free anymore, right? Like, you're not going to get more for your money. You're going to continue to get less for your money. Welcome to 2022, right? This is just the way it's going. I saw some people in there saying this is bad for collectors. This is bad for the hobby. Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong, but get on your shit, right? get on your game. Like, we're used to being able to have like a little safety net. You got to be more diligent. You got to know, like, let me get the number. Let me go look at the notes. You don't have a membership? I guarantee one of your friends does. And all you got to do is send them the number, and they're going to send you the graders notes back. Does it take more time? Of course. If you're at a show, it's not, I mean, in an auction, not a lot of slabs on auctions, right? So there's not like a time limit kind of deal that we're dealing with. eBay auctions are long. YouTube auctions, you don't see too many slabs going up for auction. Whatnot, slabs, I mean, sure, that's a small window. So maybe some sellers are going to have to, I mean, if I'm a seller now and I'm auctioning off a slab, I'm having those graders notes ready, especially for an older book, a lower grade, right? So that the people buying are willing to pay more money, right? Like I'm gonna put that book in the best light possible and leave no questions for the people that are bidding, right?
Is
so
this
right?
Is this right?
Go ahead.
What Joey said? You said after you look up 15 graders notes, it locks you out and you can't look up anymore?
Yeah, maybe for the day. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe it's just a Joey thing. I mean, I don't know. 15 in a day. I mean, how you buying more than 15 slabs in a day, Joey?
Well, Joey's been working hard.
Yes, and they're saying the graders notes are not exhaustive, but the graders, whatever was on the label before, is going into the graders notes. It's not like they left it off the label and off the graders notes. Then it didn't matter. It doesn't matter then if they're not putting it on the label, because then it wasn't on the label. It's not on the graders notes. So that statement, while it is valid for everything else, I don't think it has anything to do with this, because if it was on the label before, tape, this, that, or the other thing, it's going to be on the graders notes now. All right. So it's not like all of a sudden there was tape on this book and then it's not on the graders notes. That's not going to be the case. If they start doing that, then they're totally down the tubes. If they just start leaving shit out, which is what they're saying here in the press release, is not the case. I would say 99.99999% sure anything that used to be on a label is now going to be in a graders notes. So I don't think that's the case. But listen, we have to adapt. We don't have a choice here, right? We can kick and scream and complain all we want, but we just have to roll with the punch on this one and be ready to look something up if you're buying an older book, if you're buying a lower grade book. If you think you want to know everything there is to know about that book, get one of your friends to look it up for you, or get a membership. I mean, listen, we all submit to CGC, right? Just about. One of the tiers is $150. They give you the credit, so it's like you get the membership for free, more or less. And the boycott thing is not going to happen. Come on, we're not all going to boycott.
That's not happening. We know that.
Yeah, and like you said, Matt, as far as the auctions go, right? Because you're not going to have a lot of time on Whatnot or whatever the case may be to look up graders notes as you're bidding. So that's where an honest seller comes into place, guys. I think this is going to weed out a lot of scumbags that who are going to try to sell you a book with a defect that you may not want, that's not listed on that label. You know how hard it's going to be to see a piece of tape or a spine split or something like that. They're not going to tell you. They're going to say, hey, this is a 6.5 ASM 20, whatever the case may be. And they're going to leave that out. You know what I mean? So that's where buying from honest people comes into play, guys. So make sure you do your homework on who you're buying comics from as well, especially on these auctions. Because it seems like nowadays there's more sellers out there than there are buyers, which is good because it funds the hobby. But everybody and their mother are selling now.
Well, I think, and that's why I was saying before, like, I think sellers have an onus on them, and it's going to hit them in the wallet if they're not honest, because people are just going to be like, I'm not going to buy this. Like, why? There's an unknown there to me, and you're not making it a clear picture for me. So I'm going to pass. I'll go somewhere else and buy my, Fantastic Four 6 in a 2.0. You know what I mean? I want to know what that 2.0 is. You know what I'm saying? So it'll start to trickle down, but trust me, it's going to work itself out. Just do your due diligence. You should be doing that anyway. You know what I mean? It's not like if you're buying a 98 modern comic, it doesn't matter. This doesn't affect you.
Yep.
So, but yeah, the market, we'll talk about a little bit more with the market later, because I got some stuff to say about that. So, let's take this one down. What's the chat saying? What do we got?
Oh, we got to smash that like, Matt. Get it ready.
What
I'm
do we
waiting
got
for
going
it.
on? I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't.
Well, we got about 140 something people in here, only 60 something likes. So
What's that about?
yeah, you might need a little motivation.
A little motivation? Okay.
Yeah.
Smash it. See,
I mean,
Jay
come on.
did it. Jay knows. Look at Biggs is
Well,
saying.
obviously, Biggs, it's the clear choice. So
Listen, everybody knows, right? I don't think there's a discussion there. Depends. It depends what you want your slabs to be, right? If you just want for your PC, get whatever you want. All right, let me see what else we got coming up. All right, let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about this. We had David Nakayama on a few, about a month ago, maybe a little bit longer. Yeah, and this kind of made the round, so we wanted to share it real quick, give him a little shout out, and it was a dope piece of art that he just produced here. So why not, right? Where is it? Can you see my screen?
No, not yet.
Okay,
there it is. There she is. Madon.
So a little Judgment Day from Nakayama, Hellfire exclusive, little Emma Frost action.
She could judge me any day.
So, link to his website in the description. Dope cover. I mean, just crazy. Draws the ladies. I mean, we said it when we interviewed him. He takes care of these. All right. So
he's a little shy for a guy that draws ladies like this. I got to be honest.
I was going to say that, like you wouldn't put the two and two together, but God bless him. You know what I mean?
It's those closet guys you got to look out for, the quiet ones.
The quiet ones, yeah. So there you go, a little David Nakayama love. Obviously, we're fans of his, but cover like that, we had to throw it up.
Can I show you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I picked this up a little while after he was on the show.
Okay.
He was doing like a special on whatnot. Check it out.
Oh, there you go, Guyuch.
I like that.
Look, but signed by the brother. Look at that. Hey,
there it is.
Look at that.
You had to get a Gambit, right?
I mean, how could you not? How could you not?
Sick.
Big Gambit fan right there.
That book screams Guy Forge.
It's awesome.
Kingdom Comics in the house.
So, what's
man.
up? What up?
Uncle T. What do you guys want to talk about next? A couple of shows that have been out recently. What do you want to talk about?
You got something planned, so go ahead. Do your plan.
Yeah, well, I figured we'd talk about one of the shows. What show do you guys want to talk about first?
We could start with Star Wars.
Start with a little Star Wars love since Biggs is in the house.
Yep,
I love getting his opinion on it.
And Kingdom too.
And Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yep. Two Star Wars guys.
I said this in probably most of our chats, and I know I had a conversation I think with Jay about it on the phone. My first thought when watching like the first 15 minutes of Obi-Wan, and obviously the rest of it, is that where Disney's putting their money for these Disney Plus shows.
100%.
And it's in Star Wars. I mean, the quality of forget about the story. You could talk about this all day, but just the production quality, the CGI, the effect is so much better in Star Wars than it's been in any of the Disney Plus shows.
100%.
Agreed.
I mean, that is the most just jumped out off the page to me right off the bat. And even like the Andor trailer, right? You guys see the Andor trailer?
Oh yeah.
I mean, like that's where they're putting their money right now. I mean, Loki had good effects. That was probably the one exception. But it's the Star Wars stuff. I mean, not only has it been great, right? I think we could all agree.
So right away, your opinion on best thing that Disney Plus has put out this year.
Is it Obi-Wan? You're saying?
Yeah.
In 2022?
Yeah.
Well, there's only been what? 2 shows, right? Moon Knight and
take 21 too.
I mean, it's hard. It's only what are we? 2 episodes in or 3 episodes in?
2 episodes in, 3 tonight.
2
Oh
episodes
no,
in.
I'm sorry. Today's Monday. I don't even know. I have no concept of time.
It's in the converse. It's probably the best project on Disney Plus so far. If we're leaving Mandalorian out of it, we're just going from like Wanda, all the MCU stuff versus Obi-Wan. I mean, it's in the conversation for one. I mean, it's 1A or 1B. I mean, it's just so far that's what it's been.
Yeah, live action. Dave's right. Live action.
Live action, yeah. I mean, what do you guys thought? I mean, I just, to me, it was just so apparent what Disney's putting their money into, and the creative team is it's just tighter. They just have a direction. They know what they want to do.
Here's a crazy question too. Do you think it's better than anything they put on the screen? Do you think it's better than Spidey or Doctor Strange? 2 episodes in.
That's tough. It's hard to compare shows and movies.
Only 2 episodes in.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to compare shows and movies.
Is it 3? Is it 3 episodes?
It's 3. Yeah, it's 3. We had two in the first week.
Do you feel? Here's a question. Do you feel like you're watching a show though? Like honestly, here's the difference. When I'm sitting there watching this, I don't feel like I'm watching a show.
I can see that
because of the writing or the production, guy.
I don't know. I take all of it. But
just the overall feel.
Just the overall feel. I'm sitting down, and I'm sitting down differently than I'm sitting down to watch Moon Knight, or I'm sitting down to watch. Favreau is my favorite. I'm on the Favreau bandwagon from Swingers, so we'll talk about that.
Coco in the chat.
So,
what up, Coco?
But like, I'm sitting down looking at this totally different than I'm approaching any Marvel Disney Plus show.
Well, and I was talking about how about Erod, Comic Wisdom, and he made a good point, and I think it's something we've brought up 100 times over, especially recently, because of some of of how upset we've been with some of the projects. Is that we're in completely new realm with Obi-Wan, right? It's a completely new story. It's not following anything. It's not supposed to really follow anything, and we're no Star Wars experts, so anyone in the chat that wants to correct us, please do.
Absolutely.
But, it's kind of like they're writing their own thing, and there's no expectation to live up to. There's no, there's character source material, but the story and the place where these characters are in the timeline that they're in, this is new. This is uncharted territory, so they have a blank page to write, and sometimes that makes it easier to do. And maybe the Obi-Wan series, since we're talking about that specifically, is benefiting from that. I mean, do you guys think that that's the case? Especially, and whether it's a blank slate like Obi-Wan has, or whether you're just not a fan of the comic book that whatever show we're talking about is based on. You know what I mean? Jay, big, Moon Knight fan, has read a lot of the Moon Knight comic books, didn't like the direction of the show. Other people that didn't write Moon Knight comics loved the show. So do we feel like that Obi-Wan is benefiting from that as well, having that blank slate?
Yeah. And I'm with BK. I'm with Brooklyn, man. Like, the only thing I didn't like about it is they made Obi-Wan so shook, bro. He's so shook and rusty.
He's 10 years off.
Yeah, too. No, I know, but he's still a Jedi Master, right?
Who's been trying to forget about that?
Would he forget everything? This guy been boozing for 10 years, smoking weed. Like, what's his deal? Why is he so nervous?
I'm sure it's a I would have liked to see it pick up by episode 3, but I'm sure it will.
He's smoking with the sand people.
But I liked it, and maybe I liked it because I don't read Star Wars books, and I don't know the Star Wars lore per se, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the back and forth with him and Leia. I enjoyed seeing a Leia origin story. I wish they do the same with Luke. I don't know if it'll be as interesting, because we all knew his story with his aunt and his uncle, but I've enjoyed it, man. Just seeing Vader, like, it's almost like an origin for him as well, becoming Darth Vader. So I've enjoyed every episode. I know there's people, it's catching flack, but I liked it, man. I thought it was good. I thoroughly enjoyed every episode, especially.
I don't know where it's catching flack from. I don't know what.
Yeah, I've heard some people.
What reason?
I mean, but it's less criticism than anything we've watched recently. And I don't think you can make an argument against the fact that the production quality has just been better than the MCU Disney Plus shows, like that. And that's kind of, we can get into whether you liked it or not, the storyline or not, but like, just where's Disney putting the money in? Where's the efficiency? And somebody wrote it earlier, Filoni and Favreau. I mean, these things matter. You can't just throw any schmo into this and just expect a good product. You have to have talent behind it. You can't just rely on the comic and the community and the character names and just put anything out and just slap a sticker on it because it says Marvel, that it's going to be good.
Well, they learned that. I think COVID has taught them that, because they had a good run there in the theaters, and I think COVID has taught them and brought things back to reality. So let's pray for the best, that long little vacation with everybody helped.
And listen, so Disney knows what they're doing. They got a young girl in Leia right now. They're pitching it to the kids, just like they did with Grogu. She'll probably be the next big thing. Everyone's gonna want to get the young Leia toys if you're a kid, So, I heard there's been a lot, like Shannon said in the chat, with the diversity and racism towards the third sister. I think she's playing a great part, man. Like I thought
she's doing good.
I thought the three of them were awesome. They're all at each other's throats. Well, now there's only two of them left, but they're at each other's throats. So
maybe.
It's.
What do you think about what Ethan H said to you there, Jay?
Oh, sorry.
He's saying that basically he said over time you lose the connection to the Force. So there is a valid reason for Obi-Wan or Ben to not be on his game right now.
Michael Baker.
We got a super chat from Michael Baker. Tired of companies, Disney, Lucasfilm calling me a racist, homophobic, misogynist, bigot, or criticize woke creation. Serve me crap, and I'm gonna tell you it stinks. Yeah, and your honest opinion. So that's what it is. So
nothing wrong with that. I mean,
speaking of which, give him a little Eva.
Give him a little Eva.
Super
give him a little Eva.
Speaking of Eva. Cover of FHM South Africa.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Fantastic. It's in the story. Make sure you guys are checking that out. They did an interview. She's on the front cover looking like a smoke show as usual. Little Eva.
Make it rain on me, Defects. Yeah. I can feel it. More.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Eva Long.
More.
Oh, God. So, yeah.
Yeah, Cerrone said it. Look.
Yeah, FHM.
There you go,
I used to read FHM. I mean, you remember buying FHM? You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
I knew a girl that was in FHM. She was...
Sure you did.
Some special. I'll just leave it at that.
Something.
Special.
Let's go... let's stick with the shows right now. Jay has a lot of strong thoughts.
You're over on Briar, right?
You're over there on Briar, right? What do you think about the boys so far?
Oh God, dude! I thought the first 15 minutes of episode 1 was the best thing I ever seen in my life.
Let's not do any spoilers because I know not everybody's watched it. Guy hasn't watched it yet, but again, I think it's just another example of. I think the MCU's got to step its game up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the best, if you haven't seen it, episode 2, the boys takes several shots at Disney, in the whole woke land universe.
It's funny.
It's been insane, man. It's like, listen, I've been into not arguments, but debates with a ton of people about Moon Knight, right? And they're saying this, the whole mental hygiene thing. And okay, yep, I get it. Trust me, I get it. They're trying to appeal to everyone. This show has everything. It has comedy. It has character development. It has a great storyline. It has action. It has gore. It has nudity. I mean, what more can you want out of the boys' show? It's been, to me, amazing. The story has been getting better and better. It's developing. Random characters that we're just starting to see a lot of this season are developing more. Dude, I enjoy it. I think they're knocking it out of the park. One of my favorite comic book shows to date.
you know, you can have opinions about where your taste is, right? Like Jay, The Boys is right up your alley. You know what I mean? And there's certain people that don't like that brand, right? And you can have that discussion all day, like what content story is better. But you can't deny when a show is made well versus not so well, right? You can see the content for what it is and be like, you know what? It's not my cup of tea, but they did a good job with it. The story was written well, the character development, it wasn't slow, you know, and you could like or dislike the content. And obviously that's going to put a little biased spin on it for you, but you could tell a good show that's made versus a bad show, or same thing with a movie versus, you know, and I think that, again, you know, they're relying so, you know, and when I say they, I mean, Feige and the MCU is relying, and even DC, you know, DC is doing, I think, the same exact thing. Is they're relying too heavily on the fact that they have this big name and they have these shiny things in the form of these characters that we all love on the pages, and they're just slapping anything behind it, and they think that can propel it to success. And while it may mean success, and because maybe it still makes $700 million, or, you know, whatever, the product has been getting worse and worse. And, you know, and it's not only, you know, say what you want about Moon Knight, you know, maybe that was your cup of tea or not. And while they did have some really well-written episodes and some real good characters, it was saved by how good Ethan Hawke and whatever the hell, what's the other guy's name? Oscar Isaac were acting, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was plot holes, there was slowdowns, there was gaps, it was elongated in certain points. So even if like you didn't like that type of content, you can't tell me like that you liked every single aspect about the show, because there are flaws with it. So I mean, you know, it's unfair to say like, The Boys, I like The Boys, so it's better than X. But you can say that it's a better production. You know what I mean? You could say that Obi-Wan is a better production. It's got more value, production value, than some of what we've been seeing. It supposedly supposed to be the biggest of them all, right? What's bigger than the MCU? As far, you would think that has the biggest budget. They have the most resources at their disposal. There is no excuse for why they're not putting out the best possible product. And I don't know what's going on, you know, and I'm not like saying it's like, you know, for fire alarm. It's just, you could see that there is an issue. Do they work it out or not? It is something to be seen still.
Well, here it is, right? Here it is in a nutshell. Disney, mostly MCU, right? They're trying to appeal to every group. They're trying to make every group happy. You're never going to get that. You're never going to get every group to be happy. It is what it is. You can't appease this group of people, this group of people, this group of people based on race, you know, sexual preference, whatever the case may be. The Boys are just like, here it is. This is what it is. Here it is. And that's what makes it there's zero holding back. And you will see that in the first 10 minutes of episode 1. You have seen that in the previous seasons. This is the story. This is how it goes. If you like it, you like it. If you're offended, don't watch that. And that's, to me, that's what makes it so much better. Like, you could tell they're not trying to appease everybody like Marvel's doing right now. You can't appease everyone, so don't try. You know what I mean?
But they have a different platform too, Jay. You got to understand that too. I agree with you 100% as far as trying to appease everybody. I don't think that's fully the case when it comes to something like this. I think with something like this is that they have a platform where they can put this kind of show out there without any restrictions, without any backlash. If you tried to put this show out on Disney, they would shut Disney down. I don't care.
110%. But this is why
you can't. They can't put something out like this.
But why do you say that? But I see. I don't think I agree with that, because I mean, now it's not confirmed, but they're talking about that Deadpool 3 will be rated R, and they just added Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Punisher, Daredevil to Disney Plus. None of those, while they may not be on the level of The Boys, Those
They're
are all
not on
right
the-
in that same. But
they're
they're
not
all
on the
right in
level
that
like
same
that.
wheelhouse. There's sex scenes. There's new. You know what I mean? There's sex scenes. There's gore. There's violent. A lot of
There's
violence.
some movie. There's
F-bombs.
movies.
So,
There's movies that are
you
on
know,
Disney
maybe
Plus
The
that have
Boys
sex
is here,
scenes.
but those are here. You know, like you're still within the same universe.
No,
Right?
I have to.
No,
I
no,
have to
no.
strongly
Listen to me,
disagree.
Listen to me. There's
I-
sex scenes. There's sex scenes on that on some of these things in Disney Plus. There's not a sex scene from season 1 where the girl's head blows off, bro. Like,
Matt,
To me, that's like novelty. Like people blowing up in The Boys is like a novelty thing. Like it's not even. You know what I
Matt,
mean? Like it.
you can't compare
no.
a coked up Ant-Man type character crawling into a dick hole, sneezing and blowing someone up. That'll never be
Come
on
on.
Disney.
Come
There's
on.
no argument there, dude. You'll never see that.
What I'm saying is they're in the same universe, right? It's still what you would think. What Guy's talking about is like Disney can't do. We never thought that they would put unedited Daredevil, unedited, Luke Cage and Punisher on Disney Plus, but they did. We didn't think Deadpool 3 would be rated R, but it sounds like it is going to be. So I don't think I see what you're saying, Guy, and while I agree with it a little bit, like that can't be their excuse. You know what I mean?
not even
They
saying
don't
it's
have to
an
do all the
excuse.
content that way, but they clearly aren't afraid to do some of it that way. You know what I mean?
Like Jessica said in the chat, she read my mind. We're right here. They're gonna have to do those characters on Hulu, and they're gonna have to do it like Netflix. It's gonna have to be gritty. They can't put Punisher. Daredevil could ride.
I don't think
that
they're
line.
doing Hulu anymore. I think that's done. I think it's just Disney Plus now.
They're gonna have to have a separate section for adults then.
They might.
Because
They might.
Daredevil, listen, Daredevil, Luke Cage, they might be able to ride that line on Disney Plus, right? The Punisher's not going to be able to ride that line. Jessica Jones is not going to be able to ride that line. Moon Knight should have not have rode that line. You know what I mean? Like if they're going to do street level heroes that are dark and gritty and gory, and just like someone else said in the chat, I forgot who it was, but they said they got Garth Ennis right with The Boys. If they're going to do a Punisher Garth Ennis storyline, it has to be super gory, super violent, man.
But again, I don't. It's not saying that they don't need to. It's not saying that they won't change things up to make it work. I just don't think that they would do it. I don't even think they have a reason to do it.
I agree. 100% agree with you.
They're gonna stick to what works for them, and that's it. I don't think they're even gonna come. Is it working? That's the question. But
that's the question.
But changing it up and doing something like this is not even in there. It's not even in their fucking Rolodex, Matt. I'm going to be honest with you.
But I don't even think what I'm saying is they don't have to do The Boys. The Boys isn't. The Boys, like Jay, the scene you're talking about. If that wasn't in there, The Boys is still a good show. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make the show. It takes it to that next level. That just you're like, wow. But it's a really good show regardless.
It's a good show. Because there's no filter. That's why it's a good show. There's zero filter. You're not saying, oh my God, are they going to do this or are they not going to do it? There's no question. They're doing it across the board from the beginning to the end. They started the show and a guy ran through a fucking person. Okay?
Right. That's how it started. Set the tone.
He ran through a person and the dude was holding his girl's hand and there was nothing left of her. Like that's how the show started. Like it's amazing. Like that just told you they're not holding anything back. You cannot do a Disney show like that. I'm sorry.
I'll take it even a step back because we know The Boys is probably the most extreme of the extreme.
Sure.
We won't even see a Disney Plus show like Peacemaker. We will not see it.
No.
Not even close.
Well, Peacemaker and The Boys is pretty similar, right? I would say.
Well,
right?
Peacemaker jokes about it more than they do it. Okay? Right. Peacemaker walks the line. Yes, they step over sometimes, and Cena is funny that way. But then again, there's the line. The Boys has no fucking line. They're all on the other side of the line saying, guys, come on over here. We're on this side. Like there's no line.
Yeah, no, I get it. And it seemed I feel like every time we watch a show or a movie, I read an article afterwards that the writers and the directors are saying this is what we were trying to accomplish, or here's the thing that we wanted to push. Essentially saying it was like the first priority was to do this. Yeah. The first priority was to make sure we push this fact on you, and then we just filled in the pieces. And they're giving their creative team the leeway to do this. It's like, okay, this is your project. Fill in whatever, whatever you want, whatever agenda you have. And I'm trying not to get too political here, but fill in whatever agenda you want, regardless of political or not. Maybe it is to follow a certain comic book line but a lot of times it seems like they have a reason of why they want to do something. And then it throws a lot of things off. And if they don't start to see that is starting to hurt the product, I don't know what, 10 years from now looks like.
I can't wait to see what they're going to do with Deadpool. I really cannot wait to see.
Stranger Things, let me tell you something. This is, and I think you have to be a fan of it. It's either, you either really like it or maybe you just are like, oh yeah, it's okay. To me, that's the season 4 has been some of the best TV series I've seen ever, to be honest with you. It really was that good so far. The first 7 episodes. You got to be a little bit of sci-fi fan. This one was a lot of horror, compared to the other ones. It was spectacular. I mean, I just had 3 examples thrown in my face of how poorly the MCU is handling things compared to other major projects, right? The Boys, Obi-Wan, and Stranger Things. Those 3 are leaps and bounds better than most of what we've seen on Disney Plus. I'm talking a significant amount. If it wasn't for the fact that we love those characters and we love comic books, those shows would not even be they wouldn't even be in the same book as those other 3 shows that I just mentioned. And that's the reality. I mean,
and you know what's sad about that is Stranger Things, The Boys, Invincible. Like, as far as Invincible and The Boys goes, comic book readers love those books and follow those hard, but the average watcher doesn't know those books. And what's fucked up is Disney, Marvel, MCU, all that stuff, they have a foundation of storylines. These other shows are going off the cusp, introducing all new characters and are killing it. And meanwhile, the blueprints are there for the MCU, but they're not even following those guidelines. They're taking it somewhere totally else, which, is annoying. And I missed the She-Hulk talk. I like the She-Hulk trailer, and I'll tell you why. Because you know exactly what you're getting. You're getting a type of comedy-esque, She-Hulk in the courtroom, then fighting bad guys and whatever the case may be. You know what you're getting. You know what I mean? It's not like Moonlight where you didn't know what you were getting. You know what you're getting. I like the trailer. I think it's going to be a fun show, and it's going to be a fun character. So we'll see. I know there's complaints about the CGI and stuff, but you were promised a fun show with a fun character, and that's what you're getting. You're not getting any. Hulk got to go though, man. This guy. I mean, I never seen a happy Hulk in my life. It has to end at some point. Something has to trigger this man to be angry.
Doctor Strange 2 is over 900 million. 100%. I mean, right now they're riding some tailwinds, but you got to remember there is zero competition out there right now. Like there's almost no, like every weekend there's like only one movie that anybody really is going to see. Like me and Guy were at the movies. We saw Top Gun this weekend. It was like every single person that was at that movie theater was there to see Top Gun. There was there was other movies playing, but there was no one walking into them.
That's
every weekend. There's only one. There's only one movie. So there's not. We're in unprecedented times clearly, but a lot of people are going to the movies again. It's not like obviously every place is different, but around us, people are just going to the movies. You want to go to the movies? There's not even a hesitation about going. You're just going, but there's just nothing else to see right now. So if Doctor Strange didn't do this much, and that was worldwide, they got a big bump worldwide. It's not doing as well in the US as they thought it was going to, but they got a big bump worldwide. So
And
I
I'll
love
throw
Doctor Strange
this
too.
out there.
I'll be the first one to say I love Doctor Strange too. So
Good.
I mean, it's
Good movie. Good movie. I'm gonna be honest. I had a better time in Top Gun.
So did I.
100%. And I'll tell you right now, Top Gun, best movie since last year.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
Damn.
100%. 100%.
I heard nothing but good things.
Oh,
I like
it's
that
been
you
great.
brought this super chat up from Trout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Go
just
ahead.
gonna say
If
that.
Guy, you want to read it? Yeah.
Yeah, love you guys. But we all need to realize that Disney Plus is going for a different demographic than you and me. Way different demographic than the boys is going for.
And
mean,
I agree. I agree
know
with that
that.
100%. But then when you talk about characters like the Punisher and Jessica Jones, they're gonna have to change that. And I get what you're saying, and I get what everyone in the chat is saying. They need to sell toys. They need to get people to their amusement parks for the rides. They need to sell coloring books and all that stuff. The merchandise goes with it 100%. But characters that there are certain characters should be set aside that they have to change their game plan for. But I totally agree with you. They're pitching it to make money, and it's obvious, and that's what sucks.
But I guess my question is, I don't know if I agree with that comment. I don't know, but who are they going for? If they're not going for us, who are they going for? Is Disney Plus just made to bring in new people? Because to me, they made it sound like it was integral in the whole pushing forward of the MCU. Like if you were to just watch the movies, you would. I don't know if it's there yet, but within a year or two, like there's gonna be major plot holes if you don't watch Disney Plus. So I feel like the movies and the shows are probably, the demographic has got to be the same people. Now, certain shows like Miss Marvel, definitely it's not for us, right? And that's what I've heard so far. And we didn't believe that was going to be the case anyway. But if Moon Knight wasn't for us, then who the fuck was it for? That I would love to know who Moon Knight was for then. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm like 50% in on that comment. You know what I mean? Like I get what you're saying, but at the same time, you can't like alienate the people that got you to phase 4. Like, because then what do you got? Then they're just trying to totally redo their audience.
I don't think they're alienating. I think they understand that the people that got you to phase 4 aren't going anywhere. And I think they get that.
Maybe,
I think they get that. So why do they
only last for so long?
Why did it? But does it? Because you're going to watch this shit anyway. You're going to watch it anyway. You're going to complain about it, but you're going to watch it.
It starts to make a difference when maybe the three of us, I know me and Guy, we're running to the movies either on a Thursday night or Friday night for the past, whatever it is, 12 years of our lives, any Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Now, that's not always the case. Like, and going forward, that might start changing even more. The only reason we went to see Doctor Strange 2 as fast as we did, and probably, what was the other movie that we saw? Like, is because we do this show. Like, we have to have that information for you guys, or else that wouldn't have been prioritized the way that it was in the past. And that's just us. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's all over the spectrum, but and Guy, I think that does start to make a significant difference. You're not going to see it in a 1-year span, but if you start stretching this thin over like 3 years, and now all of a sudden opening weekends don't look the same as they did before, that matters. You know what I mean? That matters. And it's not going to happen overnight. So it's to be, and a lot of stuff we're talking about is if they don't fix this, right, in the next 12 months, 18 months, and they probably will, right? It's going to be a moot point. But if they don't, you might see it look a little differently than it does today. That's all.
I'll tell you where I am. I still haven't seen Doctor Strange 2.
2 weeks you can see it on Disney Plus.
Oh, when's it come out?
The 22nd. How crazy is that?
Oh, perfect. So there you go. I saved myself $18.50 and a $7 bag of popcorn, which I usually just eat, guys, anyway. All the time. And I'll tell you even how further back I am.
Hand in my popcorn bucket.
I just watched Venom 2 last week when it came out on HBO Max. Just seen it. Almost so bad it was good. So bad it was almost good. I'm like, what? the hell is this?
Well, speaking of so bad, almost good, Michael the Beast Benson. Sure, I'm totally joking, Mike. I loved WandaVision and Loki. Those were mature shows that went dark. What has happened? No Marvel show has been at the level of these two were at. You're not wrong, Mike.
Well, Jay wanted to talk about comic books, so we're going to talk about comic
Wait, hold
books.
on. Before you start, could you
Yeah.
pull up Spider Paul's comment? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Read that up, guy.
I stopped running out to Marvel movies as soon as they came out. Still haven't seen Doctor Strange 2.
Paulie, you stopped running about 15 years ago, brother. We seen you at Terrificon hobbling over, bro. You haven't been running in a long time.
Wow.
I knew that's what you were going to fucking say.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, God.
He's still pretty quick, though. I'm going to be honest.
Listen.
He's still pretty
quick
fucking
here.
quick. Yeah.
He's quick up here.
I don't know, Jay. Have you been looking at some of the recent sales of books, keys, and whatnot? I didn't mean to say whatnot as far as sales, but have you been following any of the sales? Have you seen anything? Have you been looking at prices at all?
Yeah, I've been looking. Prices seem to have dropped off, man, a little bit, depending on the books, right? I haven't been in the market to buy any big books in a long time. The last big book I bought was the FF5, which Gary hooked me up with. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have bought that either. But your question, no, I haven't been looking at trends. I've been looking at sales on whatnot. I always look at sales on eBay and stuff like that. So it's a little up and down for me, man. I think things are kind of leveling out, but fill me in.
Yeah, I mean, the blue chippers are still up there. I think, on a book near and dear to our heart, Punisher, ASM 129 9.0 just went for like over 5,000. It was like $500 or $600 more than the previous sale. So blue chippers are still doing well. And I really didn't expect that to change. But these other modern, like big modern keys and just and not even just speculation books, but books that got hot because of a TV show or a movie. I guess it's not speculation anymore once that character. These books are really dying out. They're not staying hot. And maybe it's because, there's so many reasons. And I'm not trying to pin the reason on because of the perception of these shows, but I think that has something to do with it. Don't get me wrong. We have inflation. We have an overabundance of speculation going on because there's so many different storylines going on. Inflation, gas prices, whatever you want, economy maybe is not looking as good as it once did. Maybe your 401k doesn't look as good as it did. So a lot of that plays into it, but the prices, I've been watching them. I've been watching them on certain books. There's like 25 books that I always keep my eye on. And every single one of them is doing worse than I thought it would do. All right. An example of one is, first Spider-Man, Edge of Spider-Verse #2. That's you got to say it's up there as a modern grail, right? Would you both agree with that?
Yeah.
If you want, I hate to say modern grail, but that's up there, right? It's an expensive book in a 9.8. Those were going for over $2,000 not very long ago. I'm not talking about 2021. I'm talking about in 2022. I just saw one sale. It wasn't on eBay. This is not going to be listed anywhere, but I saw a private sale on big sales page. $1,800. It's a big drop off. It's a big drop off. 15% less than the last sale, not on eBay. I'm talking about sales on Instagram. So, I've seen raffles. We're not going to say the raffle pages, but I've seen raffles that have just come to an absolute crawl.
Halt. A complete halt.
We had such a spike in 2021 that we knew that there had to be some type of correction, but I feel like we're below correction in a lot of these books. Not all of them, but some of them. The She-Hulk books just plummeted, absolutely plummeted. You can't tell me because the CGI was off that those books dropped 30% the day after the trailer.
Well, you know what it is? People, and like Joey said in the comics, the spec game isn't where it is right now. because people are realizing now. Look at the Grand Inquisitor. People been specking on that book. Poof, gone. Right, finito. The shows come out. Once the show comes out, if it gets bad reviews or if you haven't even seen the show and people are talking shit about it, the books drop, man. Like, that's why we always say, listen, it's fun to spec on characters. It's fun to grab those characters before they pop. And if you want to flip them. But the blue chip keys are blue chip keys, man. Like, characters that are going to be here forever are going to be here forever. Once Miss Marvel comes out, those books are going to drop, right? Once we'll see what happens with Gore, but that book's actually come down a little bit, right? Even just based on his costume, and I think that book will come back up a little bit. But after he's gone, where does that book go? You know what I mean? So it's been tough, man. It's been tough. Warlock books, I feel like, still aren't where they're supposed to be right now. And granted, we haven't seen him yet. We haven't seen any on-set photos or whatever, but I think those books will spike. But if this kid bombs the role, those books will dive back down. Not that they're not great books to have. Those books will never leave my PC. But I think people are finally starting to catch on to, like, hey, man, we're specking on shows now. It's not like we're specking on storylines or story arcs or anything like that. So just be careful what you buy, guys.
Matty
Get those
Forge,
books that are long-term investments.
Trout said there's a lot of politics today. We talking about politics?
Who the fuck's talking about politics?
We talking about politics
high
at all?
gas prices and inflation is politics. Okay, to me, those are just facts.
That's just facts of reality right now. Yeah, no one's
regardless.
I think all of us hate politics equally in this room right now. So don't worry.
Yeah, politics is not the same as economics. I mean, we're just stating facts. I'm not giving an opinion on whose fault it is or whose fault it's not. I could give a shit less because when I go to the pump, I pay $5.60. I don't give a fuck whose fault it is.
Exactly, Mike the BC. I go to channels like this to get away from politics.
There you go.
No,
you are correct, sir. You are correct.
Absolutely, but like the chat is saying, man, like you guys said, 2020, COVID, right? 2021, height of comic book and investing. We seen no books going for a 2-year-old book. We seen Miles spike. The variant is what is it now? A $30,000 book, $32,000 book.
Yeah, I would love to see what the next sale of that is, because if it's following the trend of everything else, somebody said the 9.6s have gone down in price recently, so maybe the next sale is not 30,000. That'll be a big test, because if that happens, then people are going to start to notice, because that's a book that has not stopped going up. So, but I mean, I want to see somebody in the chat tell me, I haven't really, I'm not scouring the internet, but I'm looking for somebody, we keep seeing in the chat, expectations or bad performances are affecting the books. I want to see, has there been a book that's gone up after a show or a movie? Because I can't, there's none that I could think of. I mean, even, and so how about a character that we kind of knew was coming, but we got in the movie? Clea, right? Doctor Strange 2, we got Clea. That book spiked a little bit before, but it's come down since then. It's not like the movie was out 6 months ago. It's been a month. And the book already came down for a character that just appeared. Brand new character, big name actress. And that book is already trending back down. And that's an old book, right? It's not like a modern piece of shit. Strange Tales, right? So Shang-Chi is holding. I mean, Shang-Chi took such a nosedive that for where it is now compared to where it was right before the first trailer, I mean, that's night and day. Unfair because it was during the bubble, so that's kind of a hard one to go on. But I mean, if anybody, ASM 101, okay, still doing okay. I'm trying to find something in the chat. Yeah, ASM 361. Namor, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Namor, to be honest with you, because, there was some real hate around the fact that it looks like they are not going to be using Atlantis.
Yeah, but that's still a classic character, man. Like, I can't see that book taking a nosedive. I could see it coming up significantly, but I can't see that book ever taking a nosedive. He's too much of a classic Marvel character for that book to tank.
But I mean, which book are we talking about, right? Are we talking, if you're talking FF4,
I mean,
which isn't even his first actual,
Right.
first realistic appearance, right?
Yep.
But like, what about Submariner 1? I mean, I could see, I don't want to say that it's going to take a nosedive, but I mean, I'm going to bring it up on GPA right now just to see what it's, because now that it's really making the rounds that it sounds like he's going to be of Mayan or / Aztec descent, and they're not going to use Atlantis because of DC. Now, the second part is more people are just guessing. The first part seems all but confirmed at this point. So I mean, I'm a Submariner guy. It doesn't really bother me that much. If they do it well, I'll be happy. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm bringing it
I
up
like
in
what
GPA.
Frog says. Daredevil has spiked significantly. That's an expensive book, man. I remember a 5.0 in that book was like a $1,200-$1,300 book.
That's a blue chipper, though. You know, that's what I'm saying. To leave the blue chippers out of it. You know what I mean? Because I don't think there's a question there. You know. I'm looking at like 7.0, 6.5s, and they've been steady. You know, they haven't dropped, but they also haven't gone up since a lot of the news recently, which is what you'd tend to see, right? We almost have a confirmation that this character is actually coming in Wakanda. We know the actor for sure now. We've seen the concept drawings. All this information 2 years ago would have drove Submariner 1 to almost double in price.
Yep.
Would you guys agree with that?
100%.
And now it's just staying level. It's just keeping it from going down. To me, that's significant. To me, that's a significant development in the comic book market.
And now, hold on, Matt. It's been 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks since we've been on, so I forget where our conversations with me, you, and Guy, and conversations on the show with the chat have taken place. Have we discussed the rumor of Keanu Reeves on the show?
No.
The one that me and you talked about.
Yep.
I didn't think you wanted to talk about that on the show.
I think it's valid to bring that up. I think there's
that came from you. I don't, I can't. If you want to divulge the information, that's up to you.
All right, so we'll just hypothetically say, what if a character like Keanu Reeves came out and played Victor Von Doom? What is that? Those books have been going straight up, right? Straight up. What rumors here and there, right? Fantastic Four is coming. Everyone thinks Doom's coming. Everybody thinks we're going to get a little hint of Doom and Black Panther too. Can an actor like that affect the book? Doom's coming no matter what, right? And the book's going to go up no matter what. One of the best villains out there. But if a character like Keanu Reeves plays Victor, what does that do for the book?
I mean, I'm afraid for any book right now. I got to be honest, because I'm just seeing a trend. I'm just seeing a trend. I mean, granted, Doom books, the ones we're talking about, are blue chippers, right? So they're immune to a lot of this. And Keanu as Doom, I don't know how much more the books can go up, right? Like maybe those ancillary books, his origin, the superhero 20s, those are the books that are probably going to see the biggest gains as far as percentage wise. But again, I think if you take the character that's loved and you take the actor that's loved, and you don't come out with something that everyone's happy with, or let's just say 99 out of 10 people are happy with, I think it has more of an effect than if it wasn't a great actor and it wasn't a character so renownedly loved. I think the hate would be like almost insurmountable. Like you take this character that we've been waiting for them to do well, and we take this actor that majority of people love and admire, and you put them together, and all of a sudden the product is not what you expected. How much more would that piss you off, Jay?
And hold on, CJ Design says, why would they put Keanu in a mask? Because he's not Christian Bale, dude. He's a cool dude. He don't give a fuck if he's in the mask. I think with a character like that, there's so much backstory to him that there's going to be enough of him without the mask. Not saying that he is going to play Doctor Doom. So had the topic come up, Matt? I forget. It was a Keanu Reeves rumor that I told you know I'm shot. What was
All
it?
right, so it was Keanu Reeves. This circulated like all the big YouTube channels and some of the news sites that Keanu Reeves has been cast as in a very, very important role in Marvel, taking place in the near future. Not too close, but not too far either. And that you won't know until it kind of shows up. Like, you're not going to hear anything about it until that he just appears. And we started kind of speculating on who could that be, right? Just like everybody else did. So that's where it came from, Jay. So I don't know how much more you want to say. So
no, that's good. I mean, and listen, he'd be an awesome Johnny Blaze, right? I see the Beyonder in the chat, another character that I think that they're gonna have to touch on eventually.
But I mean, somebody brought up the masks thing. I mean, every character that he's been rumored for, though, he would have some type of something over his face. Ghost Rider. I mean, you're gonna have.
Listen, do masks really matter in the MCU? I mean, no one ever has their fucking mask on, no matter who it is. And if they do, it's for a brief stint. Captain America, this guy never wears his mask. Black Panther hardly wears his mask. Who else do we have? Hawkeye probably never put a mask. He'd never put a mask on.
Well, then Doom wouldn't be too comic accurate, then, Jay.
You're right. You're right.
Maybe we don't have a permanent deformity. I mean, maybe it doesn't fuse to him. I don't know. So
no, they would need the mask for Doom. That would be
right.
I mean,
take a quick
but
turn.
Silver Surfer, we've talked about Silver Surfer. That would be CGI. Ghost Rider, clearly he would be able to kind of
back and forth,
back and forth. But I don't know. The rumor that we heard, we will say that it makes complete sense. We can't say much more than that. But the way that we're hearing this story kind of come together, it would make a lot more sense than maybe what you're thinking. All right. So I'm being very vague for a reason. I love you guys, but we can't put it out there just yet. Okay. And we don't know if it's true anyway. So it'd be different. If we knew it was true, maybe we'd have to drop a few more tidbits. You know what I mean? What's the chat saying? We got anything good for me? We got to do New Comic Book Day soon. Put it in the chat, all caps, if there's a topic that you want us to touch on real quick, unless one of you boys. I have some for Guy. I do have some for Guy, but Jay, do you have anything else that you want to touch on before we kind of start getting back into New Comic Book Day and something for Guy?
No, let's go. Let's keep it rolling.
Okay. Anything in the chat? I didn't see anything yet. All right, so if there's anything you guys want us to touch on, let us know in the chat. So, yeah, the market. I mean, it's something we're going to have I want to have a better discussion about it. I want to have like some notes. I want to make more notes, but I just wanted to start touching on it because it is a thing. Like, I saw it a few weeks ago and I didn't want to make a big deal about it on the show, but now I think it actually is a big deal. You guys know me, money guy, an economics guy. Like, I'm a numbers guy and I'm seeing the numbers and that's where they're going. Now, it could change. It could change very, very quickly. But right now, that's where the trend is going. So we're gonna do a little research. Maybe bring on somebody from other collectibles that's kind of seeing the same thing. And that's where I want to get to my cuz down there, Guy Forge. He's got some figures behind. What do they call those things, Guy?
What are they? Funkos?
Funkos. Okay.
The Funko.
And
Pops.
And Guy Forge has been getting into some pops a little bit more recently. And I started looking into some pop YouTube channels, ones that deal more with the number side of things, okay? To kind of get a sense of, is it comics? Is it collectibles? Where is the state of collectibles? Not only comics, because a lot of it goes hand in hand. All right, so Guy Forge has been collecting a little bit more pops, but been buying up some pops, been frequenting the pop whatnot shows. Guy, how do you compare? Give us a quick rundown. How does it compare to comics when you're going to buy them? What are you seeing? Is the competition stiff? Is there a lot of competition for them? Are there deals to be had? Is it easier, hard? Tell me a little bit about
There's
it. Give us a 30-second, 60-second overview.
just like anything else, there's always deals to be had in the right places. You know, you can't. You pop into these. I'm on Whatnot a lot. I'm scouring the Whatnot. Let's just put it that way. Going into shows, checking it out, seeing what people are doing. I love watching things, even if I'm just hanging out in there, not buying anything, just watching what's going on. A lot of people in and out of these shows. Some guys have 10 to 15 people in them. Some guys have hundreds of people in them. So it really depends on your following and what you build up, obviously. You know, when the defects hit Whatnot, we're hoping to have a lot of people in there with us. We have a lot of you here. So it would be nice to have you with us over there. So, and I think the defects are going to bring some fun stuff to Whatnot too. Comic books, maybe some Funkos, maybe some different things. You're gonna switch it up a little bit and surprise you guys. But it's a fun thing. The Funkos are very unique. I think they have a big following, and again, that's catering to a lot of the different community. As far as you know, different things too. Like they make a Funko out of everything, guys. I was so surprised to see what different things they make, the different characters, different sizes. Let's just put it that way. Funko Pops are selling like crazy at my shop. Yeah, these things are very, very popular. If you looked at my Instagram recently, on I think it was not last Sunday, the Sunday before, I saw this yard sale, and I was like, I want this guy. These guys are having a yard sale. I go, let's take 20 minutes and take a ride over there. It was close to my house. The kids were excited to get out, so it's like, let's take a ride over. We took a ride over, and within 5 minutes, if you guys look at my Instagram, these kids walked up to a table, and there was an 18, 20-inch pop, whatever the hell, how big this freaking thing is, Batman pop. Okay, I can grab it if you give me 2 seconds. I just want to show you this thing and talk amongst yourselves for a couple seconds.
No, I have some. I'm
gonna show you.
Keep it thorough in the house. What up, brother? Ugly Ewok. Be in this hobby to have fun, not try and get rich flipping. Well, listen, that is definitely a way to collect. However, here you can collect how, like, we always try to cover every base, right? You have, whether you love the hobby or you're just using the hobby to flip stuff, it's okay. You're in the right place, because we try to cover content for both sides of the aisle. You're in it for the love, you're in it for flipping. As long as you're not trying to hurt the hobby, we're for it. So you could be a flipper, you could be a longtime lover, you could be somewhere in the middle. We're gonna cover content for all of that. You know what I mean? So
you could be both.
I agree
Matt
with
makes
your
a comment.
statement.
Matt makes a comment to me all the time because I've never sold anything. Like, It's like I hold on to everything, and he yells at me all the time. So like I miss the boat sometimes in trying to get rid of something because I held on to it too long. Like, and that's okay too. Like, everyone does different things. I have so much fun collecting stuff. So
this is a good question.
Yeah.
When do we get Funkos? Who can we talk to about this?
So you have to be at the Funko, within the vicinity of the Funko factory. I tried to do it online. You can't do it online. You have to be there, and you have to do it in person. So I'm just saying, if we can reach out to Princess, maybe she can help us out, because she lives near the Funko factory. So I know she get hers, and
this is going to happen.
I have one of hers.
Nice.
Princess exclusive. So
now, guys.
Can I show you this thing though?
Yeah.
Can I show you this? How big this thing? I went crazy when I saw this.
Oh my God, that's not a pop.
Yeah. Look at this thing, dude. How awesome is this thing?
That's crazy.
That thing is huge.
Okay. Can I explain to you? This was in a box. The thing is brand new. Okay. Literally, I went over to the girl and I go, "How much for that?" Because my kids go, "Dad, we got to get this." I go, "Yeah, so much for telling her I don't need that," or something like that. They're screaming at the top of their lungs, "We got to get this. It could go with all the other ones we have." I go, "Okay, guys, way to throw our cards on the table. Very good." Poker players, my sons are.
Yeah.
So I go, I go, well, what? How much for the the big pop? And she goes, oh, I was trying to get like 40 for it. I go, okay. I go, let me just look around, see if I can see some other things to bundle with it. And I'm looking around and other stuff, and I go, you know what? I go, maybe I'm gonna get the pop. I might get a couple of things. I go, but I go, would you take 15 for the pop? And she goes,
Guy Forge, hard
she goes,
salesman.
how about 17? I go, well, for $2, I'm not going to argue with you. I go, it's $2. I go, it's perfectly fine. She goes, you know what? Give me 15. I go, okay. So, guys, I looked up the price on this freaking thing and what it's worth, and my mind went like this: $240.
Damn.
There you go.
So now, Guy,
Let me throw it up there though. Not selling it. Like, this is, my kids wanted it. It's for them. So to answer your question before, trying to flip things, some things I'll sell, some things I won't. My kids wanted this. It's the biggest one that we have. I'm not going to sell it. No.
so you collect pops because you're a fan of the shows, you're a fan of movies.
Oh yeah.
You collect them for the fun hobby aspect. Would you say you collect them as an investment?
Well, I changed up a little bit in probably the last like 3 or 4 months. I have a whole section over here now that I realistically bought just to sell them. Yes.
Just to sell. Now, do you see the pop market as big as it is now, like 10 years from now, or do you see it like a Beanie Babies phase or like a Cabbage Patch, or do you eventually see them
I see it.
maybe
I see
20
it as
years
like
down the line come back like unopened GI Joes are going for an unopened He-Man and characters like that?
That's what I see it as. I see it like a Beanie Baby phase. That it's really hot right now because of the platforms that it's able to be hot like this.
Well, I think it's got to do the same thing. I mean, I feel like comics did the same thing, right? I mean, you were buying comics in the 60s and 70s, or let's say you were buying comics in the 60s. It's not like your comics for the 60s when you were in the 70s were worth a ton of money, right?
So
that's why they're in rough condition, because it wasn't until the late 80s, early 90s that old comics really became valuable. So that's a long span. I mean, Beanie Babies, they're still Beanie Babies. Some of the most rare Beanie Babies today are worth $500,000 still. So while most of them are not, there are some that are. So I think all these collectible niches, Funko included, it's got to go through the whole cycle. And like you said, Jay, I think it's the boxed. I think anything that has a box, especially, is going to have value down the road if it still has the box.
See, I see
Ugly Ewok said, try paying your kids' tuition on Pops and get back to me. I'm going to be honest. You got to look at some of these and see how crazy priced they are. Like, I'm on some of these auctions and I see these things going for thousands of dollars.
So I see it almost as comic books in the 90s. Everybody wanted to collect comic books in the 90s because they thought that was going to pay their kids' tuition. The death of Superman was going to buy them a Lamborghini 10 years down the line.
Well, I thought that.
Now everybody's collecting pops, right? And you would agree they're heavily mass overproduced, except for like the variants. And I know there's certain exclusive ones that are very limited.
There's some of them. Yeah.
So do you see it the same way? Do you think maybe a fad that'll pop, or you think it stays for the long haul?
It's here now. Let's put it that way.
Right. I got you.
It's here now.
Yeah.
We need an expert on this.
It's hot now. Yeah, I think we should, bring in someone that's been doing it for a while. I mean, this is not new. This is not new at all. It's only new
That's
to
true.
us.
I mean, guys been collecting pops for like, I want to say a good 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some for a long time.
It's been around for a while, but listen, we're not like Guy's a pop fan. Jay and I aren't, but I think I could tell Jay is interested just in the collectible and value.
No, because I see what toys are. I see what toys are doing now. So I'm like, hey, like these limited edition ones, like his Batman, like I know some will definitely drop in value, but the ones that are rare, like how much, like I see with unopened GI Joes.
This is funny. Jessica Alvarez just said it too. She goes, "I got the original Mr. Knight Funko error, but it retailed at the conference since it peaked at 100 max, but now it's sitting at 900. Why? People have no idea why this pop is so crazy right now."
Yeah,
Like,
it's still got
there's
to
certain
find its
ones.
way.
There's certain ones, and yeah, I think it has a.
It's got to find
it's
its
gonna,
way.
It's going to be
Yeah.
around for a little while. Let's put it that way. It's
Well,
not
let's put
going
it this way.
anywhere.
Oh yeah, no, I know, 100%.
It's going to be a while, right? And I think, like Jay said, I think the point you're making, and I think we'll make this the last point because then we got to do the comic book day, is that the producers are seeing, they know rarity is key, so they're making some rare. The mass produced ones are not going to be worth much. Of course, if you keep it clean and you keep it in the box 20 or 30 years from now, it's probably going to be worth more than you bought it for, but you know what I mean? Not by much. But the ones that they do limit, I think they clearly know what they're doing. They have the blueprint behind them already. So if they don't follow it, they're stupid. Make things rare and people are going to pay for it.
Yep.
You know, I just happen to follow somebody that they were talking about. Somebody bought a Willy Wonka golden whatever. It was a twin set with the golden ticket, $100,000.
Whew.
And guess what? It had never sold before, at least publicly, that somebody could find. So there was no price for it.
Wow.
So this is the price that they came up with. What is something worth? It's whatever somebody's willing to pay for it.
100%.
So, I mean,
that's the statement.
Take out the word pops here and insert any collectible, right? And it's still a discussion. And I think it's a cool one to have with collectibles because I think it does affect comics too, right? I think they're all together. So, you know, I mean, my phone is trying to talk to me. I don't know what's going on.
All right.
But yeah, I would like to talk about this a little bit more, like especially from the resale and stuff side at some point. So maybe we'll do that. But let's get into some new comics. It's been a while. I did some good reading. There's some good reading this week, but it is time for that new comic book day show. June 8th. We're almost halfway through 2022. All right. So we're bringing you our top 10-ish picks of the week. Okay. Whether we're picking for the cover art, the story, or a little bit of speculation. Okay. And of course, our boys over at comicbookinvest.com, they got that new comic book day pull list from Chris Nelms. Go check it out. He's got the full ratio variant list. Plus, he lists out the first appearances like we do here, but he's got them written all out. So if you'd like to see it in text form, head over to the website. The link is in the description. Check it out. Awesome article. He's got his picks, and he does a breakdown on those. Always a great article. Check it out. But without further ado, we're going to get into these books.
And I got to share my screen. It's been a very, very, very long time.
Okay, go ahead.
Every week begins with Jay.
Right off the bat, guys, Dark Crisis, a 7-issue series by Joshua Williamson and illustrated by Daniel Sampier. Chapter 1, the Justice League is dead, guys. Listen, you got Crisis on Infinite Earths, Infinite Crisis, Final Crisis, and now Dark Crisis. This epic event is in the making for years now and is finally here. Join the Justice League as they battle attacks from DC's strongest villain in the blockbuster summer event, guys. I'm a sucker for major summertime story arcs. I think Dark Crisis is going to be awesome. I liked all the Crisis story arcs. I own them all. There's hate on some of them, but this is going to be my read of the week. Super excited for it.
Okay.
Well, following that, I mean, you know I had to pick this one, right, Jay?
I knew it. I knew it off the bat.
We could have said that a couple weeks ago if we were even doing it then. But G.I. Joe, Best of Snake Eyes #1 from IDW, guys. I mean, I think the cover's drawn so cool. It's like so nostalgic. It's so badass. Best of Snake Eyes. How do I not pick this book coming into this week? So I mean, that's all you need to know about that. I know Maddie jumped out a minute, so but you know, there was no way I was not picking this book. Let's put it that way. Anybody else getting Best of Snake Eyes?
I love it.
No? Ugly Ewok said a third grader drew that. I don't care. I don't care. That's the point. That's the point, Ewok.
I mean,
That's
the guy
okay.
just talked about Pops. You know he's gonna pick a nostalgic GI Joe Snake Eyes cover.
Are you nuts? Come on.
Oh God! All right, I had to pick this book. I have to see what it's about. From Marvel, Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor, number one, a little limited series. I just want to see what they're going to put out in the comics, because there's going to be a little bit of overlap with what they're doing in the movie. They seem to have been doing that, so I'm curious. I'm picking this up out of curiosity. I'm not expecting it to be great, but I just want to see what they're doing and how, and maybe what to expect in the movie and what to expect going forward. See if Jane Foster as Thor has any legs. That's all I'm getting this one for. Maybe I read number 2. I don't know.
Can I give you Jay's thought on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
I'm thinking maybe shit the whole time. No, sometimes.
Maybe shit, period.
But I like it.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, the guy's doing his research, right? We all know they dropped some type of hints with these comic books. So we'll see, man.
Hey, that's all. This is I like that. This is the 4th reason for a pick this week. Research pick. That's what this one is.
Next up for me, guys, Batman Nero Year number 3, Jackson Langson and Colin Kelly. I picked it. Why? It's the last party in Gotham. I doubt that. Commissioner Barbara Gordon is stepping down from the Gotham City Police Department, and Wayne's Powers CEO Dom Loomis is throwing her a party. Batman doesn't trust Lamos one bit and is going undercover to infiltrate his new enemy. Only one problem. He runs into the Gotham City Police Department's top new cop, Bean Boonman. Guys, Neo Year's been good, man. And if you want his first appearance, it's going to be in Batman Beyond Neo Year number 1. Pick this up if you're a fan. I know, Guy, you love Batman Beyond. I thought this was going to be one of your picks until I seen the Snake Eyes. I mean,
And you knew.
who doesn't want to see Barbara Gordon step down as police commissioner? And who's going to fill that role? So we'll see, guys.
I like it. I like that pick. Guys, if you could do us a favor, the Defects are asking, hit that thumbs up. There's 150 some odd of you in here. Just hit the thumbs up for us if you can. If you've been enjoying this. I mean, if you haven't been enjoying and you're still in here, then you're just glutton for punishment. So I'm going to assume majority of you enjoyed it. So just give us that thumbs up. It helps out the channel. Keeps us going. It's like the fuel that keeps the channel going. All right.
Yeah. If we could change, yous could change, we could all change.
We need the Russian translator in the background.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Before we get into the guy's next book, I wanted to talk about another new comic book day, another new comic which we featured a few weeks back that is about to, I don't want to say it's about to drop, but the Kickstarter is about to end. And we were all big fans of this book and just wanted to throw a reminder out there that this thing was backed like within seconds. Where the hell is it? Oof. There it is, from Ji Young Lee.
Dude, this book was so good to read.
Gumaa.
Oh,
Guys, look at that. 100,000, 739 backers, 71 hours to go. Look at that. Someone just backed up while we were in there.
Gumaa.
Jay, you want to just give a quick two sentence recap on what this was? I mean,
crime lords, the sex ring, prostitution, and drugs,
and some demons
and
or
the
some
church.
shit.
And the church. You forgot the church.
and demon. They didn't get into the demons too much though yet.
Right. Well, we know that's where it's going, and it's a plot twist. Right, is coming is what we were told. Big plot twists.
Yo, listen to me. This story. This is a rarity that you get a good written story with insane art. The art in this book,
insane artwork. Absolutely
insane. You guys are gonna love this book. Trust me. Anyone in this chat that watches this show is gonna love this book. If you don't, please let me know after you read it why you did not like the first two.
Yeah,
issues
tell us
of it.
why. I'd be surprised. Maybe you don't love it, but I can't see you not liking it at least. So, links in the description. Just wanted to drop that since there's only a few days left on that. I didn't want you guys to miss out.
Yeah, Dave Cerrone dropped the link in the chat too, in case anybody
Thank you,
missed it.
Dave. All right,
Thanks, pal.
let's get back to that new comic book day show. What do we got here? Guy Forge's next book.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I know Jay.
Another shocker, right, Jay?
Yeah, well, I know. That's what I'm saying. Jay's talking about Batman Beyond, but how do you not go with Chrysanthemum #1? Like, this dude is fucking nuts, guys. I'm gonna read this because I think this is really cool how they explain it. He thrilled audiences in the Book of Boba Fett. Now experience the stories that made him a legend. The deadly Wookiee bounty hunter called Chrysanthemum is almost unstoppable, but you can get him on your side for the right price. Finally learn Chrysanthemum's origins from his years in the gladiator pits to an alliance with Dr. Aphra to serve up some well-deserved revenge. It's a wall-to-wall Wookiee action as only Marvel can deliver. I'm all in on this one, guys. He is badass. I fucking love this dude. Yeah.
Him versus Chewbacca 1D, no weapons in the octagon. Who takes it?
Fuck, man.
No armor either.
No armor.
No armor?
Just throwing the ones.
I think Chewie could take him.
I love it.
I think Chewie could take him. Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot like that goes with him because I think he's a warrior, this dude. But Chewie's a bit. Chewie's #1. You know that.
Listen, guys, gonna promote this fight, and then he's gonna get collared like Mike Vick.
Yeah,
for promoting for promoting Wookiee cruelty.
Are they gonna fight in my basement? This is. I mean, guys, if you love Star Wars, how can you not love this? This is for them to jump all over this and kind of now tell backstories of stuff like this and I mean talk about striking while the iron's hot, right? Like this is perfect timing. I all over this book. I can't wait to see what other covers they have. All I saw was this one, but I'm sure they're gonna have some more different covers too.
There you go. Just saw our name in the chat. Circumstances, such a dope cover. Guys, I've checked out some of Circumstances content. Definitely check it out. Give him a sub. Yeah, at least give him a look. Pretty good. He puts on a pretty good show. You got some nice production quality too. So check him out.
There you go.
My last pick of the week. This had me very excited.
Maddie, before you get to this crazy, because I know you were on this Dogs of London #1 too.
Yeah.
Jay, someone put up. I see it. Do we go get suits and just create the fight?
I mean, we could just pay bums to battle it out in my backyard. Fire up some dogs.
2022.
Crack open
Star Wars edition.
We might get it at BronxCon, man.
Go on Amazon after this show and just buy 2 outfits. Okay.
I'll be the ref. All right.
Go ahead.
You guys can duke it out. Yeah, like Guy said, I talked about this when #1 came out a few weeks back from Aftershock, Dogs of London #2. It did not disappoint. From Peter Milligan. Starts off basically, this one kind of jumps around a little bit, so I had to read. I don't want to say I read it twice, but I just went back a few pages and just made sure I followed it correctly. Basically, they start off with, it's like West Side Story almost. It felt like, it was like 2 gangs, 2 crime lords. Basically, one of them was dating the daughter, the sister of one of the heads. So that they had that little dynamic going. One of their the main guy, the narrator, his name is Frank. One of their members gets killed, and the story kind of just evolves from there. They're burying bodies right at the beginning of the issue, and towards the end of the issue, you fast forward, which totally I didn't see coming. You fast forward like 30 years, and now like this guy Frank, he's he's knighted by the Prince of England or wherever, I don't know if it's the king or the prince at that point. He's rich, he's famous. One of his boys has his strip club ring. So a lot of them have made it out of the black markets, and they've made it big, legitimately. But the bodies that they buried at the beginning of the issue resurface. And this isn't a spoiler because they kind of tell you in the solicitation that's where it's going. But there's a supernatural element to it because the bodies haven't decomposed. They look the same as they did when they put them in the ground 30 years before. Really cool writing, really cool story. It's got that vibe to it, that crime, that family on family storyline. So I enjoyed it a lot. I don't think it's going to be for every single one of you, but it's worth a read. The number one. I can't wait for number 2.
If I were to design a variant cover for either this or Stray Dogs, it would be them smelling each other's asses.
Oh God! Listen, they had their own strip club and it's like that's like their home clubhouse. Like it was called the Kennel. I thought that was pretty cool.
What else? What else would they have called it?
I mean, I was like, this is perfect. Is anybody else reading it? See, former Trout was reading it. I don't know who else read it, but it was good.
Are these some?
Oh yeah, sorry. Honorable mentions, Guy Forge. We have only a few this week.
I was waiting for you to talk us into it.
Sorry,
So
it's been a while.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Listen, we got DC Pride 2022 number 1, cover A, which obviously has that choom, 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 choom feel. A lot going on there. I'll tell you this much: that Bartel variant got me a little al dente. I'm just saying.
Love it.
Why not?
Something for everybody here on the Defects.
True.
That's all. And you got Flashpoint Beyond number 2 from DC. The first appearance of Gilda Dent as Two-Face. That's cool. What else we got? We got Nubia, Queen of the Amazons, number 1 from DC. First appearance of Zilla. Long live the Queen.
That's a dope cover.
I use them for, real estate all the time. Zillow.
That's a throne cover. So just in case
Love it. Oh yeah, that's right, Guy. You got to get that.
Yeah, a throne cover. And back at it again to finish off the week. Oblivion Song number 36 from Image. This is the finale of the book.
You guys know what final issues do nowadays.
And this series got hot. Jake Jake Gyllenhaal is attached to it.
Gyllenhaal.
For a movie or a show. And, we always say it here over and over. Final issues. Grab them. Just in case.
Jake Gyllenhaal's involved. Never mind. Leave it on the rack.
Even if his sister was involved, Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Wow. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the New Comic Book Day show for June 8th, 2022. Yay. Like I said, go check out the CBSI website and Chris Nelms' New Comic Book Day pull list article. Awesome. So, boys, what else? Anything before we get out of here?
BronxCon.
Covered a lot of stuff, so.
We did. I didn't think we were going to talk much.
I hope you booked your rooms because prices have doubled, if not tripled, on rooms.
Oh, God, it went crazy.
Yep.
We will see you there, Paul. We will have another fun night at that Coyote Ugly-esque bar that we like to hang out with the Mechanical Bull. We're going to get Maddie on it this year.
Listen, if I go on, that means we all got to go on.
All 3 of us at once.
I'm not saying that. I feel like a competition, like maybe a little time competition who stays on the longest.
I call the middle.
Oh God!
I want the best. I want the best of both.
You
worlds.
would. You would.
Anything, Guy Forge?
No, that's it. Good to see everybody again. Good to see everybody. Thanks for hanging out all this time. I don't know how many we still have, like about 140 people in here. So thanks for listening to our dumbasses talk for a couple hours. It's always good to hang with you guys. Oh, and we got an important update from Dave Cerrone.
He
found his nuts.
Wow.
They were in the couch. They were in the couch.
In the couch next to the remote.
What's the important update, Dave?
Yeah, tell us what the important update is before we get out of here. I'm tired.
And Fight the Good Fight, I love that book. And that is a first appearance in that book. A first appearance that I think is going to come into play eventually.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. See what this says.
Let's see what we got.
Somebody click on it. I can't. All right, I can do it here. There you go. Oh, there you go.
Oh, Evil.
Let me show it. Now, Dave was the one to hit me up. He was like, I need to find this magazine somewhere. This is not American edition. And I'm like, you're on your own there, bro. I have no clue. And guess what? He found it. There it is.
A good book to grab because you never, ever know if Eva will ever show up.
Oh, maybe she'll be signing some books.
I'm speculating on this one to have some stuck pages. That's all I'm going to say.
Creamy, off-white pages.
Creamy center.
Creamy center.
What's the issue? How much is to buy this one? Is it just $3.99 or is it?
Yeah, there you go. See, buy this issue for $3.99. Probably $7,000 for shipping. No, I have
Send
no
it to
idea.
CGC.
Smells like bleach.
Should we preview it?
Boy. Yeah.
Let me see if there's a preview. Oh yeah, we're previewing this. Hold on. Let me change screens here. Hold on. We're gonna see this all together. If you stayed in the chat, good for you. Where's the preview? What's it called? Here it is. Nope. Yep.
How do I hide Cerrone's message over here?
There you go.
Just click on another one. All right. Preview. Obviously, Eva on the cover.
The anticipation.
Another somebody else, Diana Vasquez.
Like it already.
Not mad at it. Got a little bio on her. That's it. That was the whole preview.
What?
I thought it was going to be longer. Anyway. Yeah, she's got an interview and everything. So,
if you want the real preview, just search Eva Long on Pornhub and you'll get it.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you were going to say Pressable
interview.
Defects. I thought you were going to say Pressable Defects.
I mean, that's not really a preview. Although
it is a preview. Just a little lower. Just put the camera a little lower. I feel like we're due to have her back on. I was talking to her today a little bit, so maybe we got to have her back on.
I think we should see who can buy some magazines and send them, and maybe we'll see if she wants to do like a signing or something.
Yeah, maybe that's a giveaway. A signed copy.
Defect, yeah. Let's see if we can get some of those copies. Defects.
Let's put it this way: if you guys buy them, okay, we will get them signed for you.
Oh, listen to this guy.
Okay,
hey, this is exactly what we talked about it.
To get them signed for you. Okay, so we'll work on that. But
I want to see. I want to see who can do the homework. I want to see who can do the homework. Who can get some of these magazines? Get them our way. Talk to us. Reach out to us. Tell us you got them. You guys all got us on Instagram. You can chat it up and let us know, and then we go from there.
Tag Eva, and then if we get a handful of defects with these in hand posting,
there's going to be a lot of handfuls of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I kind of figure that, but I think
that's okay. Buy multiple copies, guys.
I think we could talk to Eva, and I think we can get some. I think we can get some signatures going.
Let's see if you guys do some homework.
The brains behind the operation.
We're gonna have our own private signing. All right, not the kind that you guys are used to. And yes, we will be facilitating and witnessing.
Gary will 100% facilitate this. I don't see any problems with Gary facilitating this.
Nah.
Oh God, I'm pretty sure it just sold out. Chinmo said. My God. All right, so we just hopefully we didn't just bite off more than we can chew. Imagine there's like 500 copies sent in for signature.
He said it.
Yeah. Well, I am the spokesman for the group, so I feel like pretty much whatever I say, it's like you guys saying it as well. So I do get away with. See, like when Jay says something, it's just Jay, or when guys say something, it's just Guy. When I say something, it's for the group. You know what I mean? So I get away with that. You know what I mean? So, all right, boys and girls, thanks for hanging. I'm out of steam. I'm done.
Thanks, Oz.
Let's
We still
go
have a lot
Rangers.
coming up.
Let's
Bronx
go
Con.
Rangers.
Trivia show coming up. A few guests in the works that we're just trying to line up some stuff with the schedules, conflicts. We're gonna get there. I don't know. Maybe Whatnot announcement soon. Just follow us on Whatnot, Pressable Defects. I don't want to put a link up. We're up there. If you want to find us, just go on Whatnot and search Pressable Defects. And follow us. We actually might be doing a show from Whatnot. That's breaking. That just happened. I never said that before to the chat. But we may be doing a show only on Whatnot, like a Whatnot once a month only show. We may like dual stream on YouTube, like part of it, but then we're gonna make you come to Whatnot to get the good stuff. You know what I mean? Not auctions, just a show, just like a random chat. 20-30 minute chat. So we'll get there though. We're not all the way there yet. All right. So hit the thumbs up, hit the sub button if you're new. We love you guys, and we will see you next week.